All right. Maybe we can get started with our news. Pretty tired today. Okay, let's go ahead and tag everybody. Alrighty, so good morning, everybody. Go ahead and go live here. Excuse me. Russians Putin says he has agreed on the whole 2-second gas pipeline to China via Mongolia. Wow. That's what Congressman Leaving in 2019 bought Baba calls right before the Chinese deal, sold Hoya, Roku, and Facebook calls right before COVID. Interesting. Alrighty. Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, thank you guys. Appreciate it. We're live on YouTube now. All right, so no delay. Just gonna go ahead and get started with our news, of course, and we'll go from there. So, see here. There we go. Wrong one. I was in the European news call. All right, let's turn this on. Morning, Thomas. CPI 4%. Hold on. Going to the economic data here. All right, so SPY CPI for September 0.2% or 0.2% versus the okay, so we're right on target with that. Previous, so that's good. I mean, at least we hit our estimate. Go. Yeah, well, I need to check the rest. So 4%. Okay, we got 4% on the core CPI year over year for September. Month over month, 0.04% versus the 0.03% prior. Okay. I just tweet these out. Fed minutes. I have it right here. We've got that one at 1400. So 2 o'clock. All right. Oh my God. Morning, everybody. Yeah, I have a ton of books in my Discord that that I'm looking at or that I look at constantly, excuse me. And they're all free, so yeah, feel free to hit the link in the bio. Just giving you guys a heads up, I'm not going to be on long today. We took my daughter to the doctor. She's fine, but she keeps getting very random, fluctuating fevers. So we're gonna did not get any more sleep than I did yesterday, probably less. So I'm gonna just due to that, gonna stay. And honestly, I'm about done this week. Hopefully, we see some movement today. Today would be great, but maybe Thursday and Friday that we end up seeing the core movement from the market as a reaction to, we do have more data coming in. Yeah, so we have more data coming in tomorrow, jobless data and stuff like that. Okay, so let's go back into the pro. Perfect. Okay. And you guys, I'm going to leave this up where you guys can see the news, any news that comes in. Alrighty. So futures on Wall Street, major indexes were higher ahead of the U.S. customer price data. Of course, that just came out. Upbeat earnings forecast from German software group SAP and robust quarterly sales for French luxury good maker LVMH helped European stocks recoup losses early. China stocks ended higher as better than expected domestic trade data eased slowdowns fanned by a power crunch and Evergrande's debt crisis. The oil prices dipped as on-demand concerns. Gold prices rose boosted by worries over economic growth and a slight retreat in the dollar. Minutes of the U.S. Federal Reserve's September policy meeting are also due later in the day. Top news right now, JP Morgan beats estimates on M&A boom, loan growth. JP Morgan reported a rise in third quarter earnings that beat estimates as the bank, Wall Street, are capitalized on global deal-making boom, while the customer bank benefited from higher interest on income loans. Also, I want to just turn over while I do this and have a look at SPY. So that's not good. So you guys can see gap ups, in my opinion, they always tend to be relatively bullish. Gap downs, you can see, or excuse me, bearish. Get whenever we gap up. So I'm not a big fan of this setup already. It's one of those days where you could take it. You have to be aware of those gap fills. That means that your stock that you're looking to take to the upside is going to be affected by the overall market. So SPY may see temporary upside, but inevitably will likely go and fill that gap. Um, all right. Anyway, so federal U.S. central bankers broadly agree that they can soon begin reducing their support for the economy, but are divided how much of a threat high inflation poses, and more importantly, what they need to do about it. And they did put out a little stupid thing that said basically, um, they're doing their best to make sure that inflation is never going to be an issue again. Which great, thank you. I'm sure that'll go well. Apple likely to cut iPhone 13 production due to chip crunch. Delicious. Apple Incorporated, as we heard about this yesterday, slashed production of its iPhone 13 by as many as 10 million units due to global chip shortage, which I did factor into my price target of 135. Y'all below 140. We have 138.50 right below you, but the price target for me is still 135, 135.50. And I think that around that level, we'll see a relatively good bounce. So Apple may end up being a short play today once that gap goes to get filled. Alrighty. So other than that, guys, I'm trying to keep I'll keep you guys updated. There's a couple stocks to watch. I guess let's see here. That's not really super great news, but Boeing did have news that said the company will require its 125 employees to be vaccinated by December 8th, an executive order issued by Joe Biden for federal contractors. So that's happening. British Also, Facebook still hot water, but Senate Commerce Committee Chair Maria Cantwell called on Facebook so that Mark Zuckerberg to preserve all documented documents related to a testimony last week from the company whistleblower Francis Huygen. The testimony raises significant concerns about whether Facebook has misled the public, federal regulators, and this committee. The committee will continue oversight and work to pursue legislation to protect consumers' privacy and improve data security. Um, see here. We did have news from Tesla. Tesla Prony Resources said that Tesla has agreed to purchase around 42 tons of nickel in a multi-year deal, a pact that is set to make the new Caledonian miner a key supplier of metal for the U.S. electric car maker. Prony, which bought the loss-making nickel operation in the French territory from Brazil's Vale SA this year, added its aims to produce 44 tons of nickel by 2024. So Alrighty. Other than that, there's some random news that Twitter had news as well. They're having issues, people getting hacked and stuff like that. Um, U.S. representatives. So, already AMD looking good. Books have helped a ton. Awesome. I'm glad they have. Um, hey guys, sorry, just finishing the news. If you guys would like to hop on the YouTube channel, that is where I can see most of your guys' questions or request. You guys, of course, can hop in there. I am on YouTube right now. If you'd like to see my screen and asking me any questions in the YouTube channel, it would help me out a lot as well. So, um, I would like to obviously, I do, yes, preparing to day trade. Okay. Sophie, November. Yeah, so let's take a look at a couple of our setups here. So Sophie, I see it in pre-market here. We're already at 1980. I must admit, Thomas, it has a lower time frame. I never like when we see price consolidation as we're making higher highs. You know, it almost low volume push. I do like the after hours movement so far, just moving up into that $19 level. So depending on your expiration, if you're long, I think that Sophie's still pretty good, but this is about the level that I would consider taking profit. And the reason that is because you got an analyst upgrade, a bank upgrade, and both of those institutions aren't going to let it go and hit their price target immediately. And so that being said, it's my thoughts that um, just looking at the price action at the moment, that Sophie is likely going to pull back. Now, like the rate of that pullback or how harsh or whatever, I can only settle with 1850. That's kind of where I'm looking at it there. But I do think that if you are long, if you're anywhere out towards, maybe November or December, you could potentially hold on to positions and use weeklies or shorter expiration contracts for those retests, kind of like SPWR. You guys, yesterday, I was just looking for a simple retest, and we have already gapped up and hit that $28 mark. Don't like the gap. I hate gaps. I hate gaps when they're below us, but SPWR, you can see here, does respond to those gaps as well. So, but nonetheless, we did get that retest and then bounce and break. So same thing with SunPower as it was Sophie. I'm likely going to look to be securing profit. And I must mention as well, those of you that are just hopping on, I I'm tired, so if I like, I'm not going to be staying on long today. Normally, I would push through, but I'm exhausted, and my daughter's still, for some reason, we're not sure. We're going to try to go to the doctor today again, but for some reason, still has a fever that is fluctuating. So last night was another one, really odd. So regardless, if she's fine, kids are resilient, but whatever she's got, she's having trouble kicking it. So we're gonna go head to the doctor. But yeah, I'm just tired, so I'm not gonna be trading all day. Probably trade till about 10 o'clock, 10:30. I say that all the time, and I end up trading longer. But uh, I don't want to overtrade. I want to get a sense of market direction. If we move well, I'll go ahead and I'll size into certain positions. But at this moment, what my mentality from yesterday to today is not changing. I'm still keeping my position sizes light. Think about what that means for you. And then I'm just going to take price action and setups as they come. I am watching Apple to the downside potentially. We'll see how that one plays out. I have a clean break at 140. I'm looking to take this one to the downside. Yeah, relatively quick. Um, so somebody asked me coming from TikTok how I felt about SPY. I very much feel that SPY is going to pull back again. The reason why I feel that way is due to the gap up. Um, Anytime that we have any kind of gap up, it leaves a space to go fill that gap. Now, if you look at the overall setup here on the hourly, we're riding this lower time frame support, and so filling that gap would put us back down to 432 50. Now, once that gap gets filled, then we're right here. We're right up against support. and flushing and pulling back is a higher probability. Now, I would not get overzealous there. The FOMC meeting is today, so just going for a simple gap fill here, um, and bouncing is not outside of the question. Now, I don't like to confuse people with megaphone patterns because megaphone patterns tend to confuse the shit out of people. But this is what I would anticipate if you guys tried to go short and then it ended up going long. So bottom right hand corner of my screen, we've seen this before. It's not outside the question to see SPY today or going into tomorrow bounce hard and see a 437 rebound. Now, the timing in which that happens, I can't say, but just looking and anticipating movement, that's what I would speculate. I think the gap up would lead bear because you got to think bears get faked out too. Likely you're going to see people get faked out to the downside. Um, so as far as I know, it's FOMC minutes doc right here. So that's at 1400 Eastern time. So, um, do you use social media, politics, and world news and trends to trade, or do you go something completely different? I absolutely do. Quiver Quantitative is one of my favorite places to go get a lot of that data. So definitely like that. Great resource for me anyway. Uh, Do I sign in, please? Okay. Any questions about positions that we have? Let me know and I'll answer those questions. So you're looking at COF, COF. Swappy, you asked about GM. That was right. Okay, so we'll take a look at GM. Um, those of you on YouTube, I will absolutely take a look at your tickers here in just a second. It's 8:45. Got plenty of time. We're just relaxing. Got I'm relaxed. Well, I'm not putting in any pressure on myself today. Um, and it's up to you on whether you feel like you want to, go ham. But a lot of the times, people will come into the day with a rip and roar mindset that they're going to just tear the market to pieces, and the day won't provide that type of opportunity, and then they just end up losing money. So with that being said, I'm waiting to just like we teach people. We can only make money by reacting to the market rather than hoping and dreaming that it does what we want. So if the volume and the setup isn't there, I'm not putting the pressure on myself to make a crazy performance today or anything like that. It's just another day in a very choppy, news-driven week. So, and in regards to COF, I'm looking at the hourly here. Never like when I see this type of setup generally, but I would say that you have a pretty flat resistance here. And then it looks like, in my opinion, that you did in fact break support. So you almost had like an ascending triangle happening here. You ended up flushing, and now you're going for what looks to be a retest, but you've gapped up. So if you've gapped up, more than likely that gap's going to get filled. The gap gets filled, looks like all the way down at 167. This looks more like a fake out potentially, but I would watch this one. It could potentially recover. And one thing about wedges and triangles, they can actually extend themselves. So a lot of times, much to the frustration of retail, a lot of times wedges and triangles can extend themselves. So that could be the issue there. But otherwise, I think this it has broken to the downside, and this is more or less a fake out. But that's just my thoughts. I could be wrong on that one. I don't really play Capital One or never. I don't think I've ever played Capital One. So um, GM though, I have that one over there. So GM, yesterday somebody asked me a really good question. They had some in the money calls. Our AI bot, by the way, signaled GM calls like a couple weeks ago. Long or not even a week ago, I think. This one ended up moving straight up 59. It's getting close to 60. Anytime we get close to 60 on General Motors, things start to get really shaky. But you're flat up against resistance. That's great. The goal here is to maintain the volume that you had bleeding up. So you can see there is a declining volume as you've approached resistance. It's not necessarily preferred. And if you do end up rejecting here or filling your gap and anywhere below 58.65, I would anticipate obviously 58, this little buy zone here. Anywhere, if you break that zone, you're likely going to pull back down 57.50 and then ultimately 56.75. But otherwise, looking to the upside, if you do break 59.26, I can only anticipate a $60 move or a move to $60. It would be sick if it moved 60. You see that I have Deer pulled up. Uh, I was looking at Deer. The reason why I was looking at Deer is there's a hourly setup here that I thought was kind of interesting here. Um, There you go. So forming a bit of a wedge, I would anticipate if Deer does not make a lower low, watch for Deer to go hit 340 today. That's based off of this hourly wedge at the moment. Now on the daily, of course, Deer it's good to look at the overall picture, but you are at your 200-day EMA. So seeing a lot of volatility and chop here is not outside of the question. You all also are flirting with your whole ribbon indicator, which oftentimes can signify a reversal. So with DE, at the moment, I think you still have just another little close to new high. Yeah, for sure. I'll definitely take a look at it for you. But anyway, this wedge could very easily go flush down, just as easy as it reverses. But I think a tap of resistance here, just in the short term, is highly likely. But just looking at the overall sentiment or the overall setup on DE, DE from COVID lows was at 109. Since then, it ran to $400. That's pretty damn good. It's probably about time for a pullback. Um, even if it's just relatively healthy, even a $300 retest is not outside of the question. So, but that's only happening below the 200-day in May. NSPR. Guys, those of you on YouTube, I will absolutely take a look at this for you. This is TradingView. If you guys are watching here, I will absolutely what's going on here. If you're new to buying, go read all right, money bag. Well, I do have a ton of books in my Discord, but I'm gonna go ahead and boost you. There you go. But why if you can't CRSP is actually CRISPR looks really good. Deer is going to strike today. What do you mean strike? This man told me to get a job. That is hilarious. Okay. I use TradeStation. Okay. Accumulative volume plug. Yeah, CAR and Avis both look pretty strong. Okay. Sorry about that. So let's take a look at the NSPR, right? Inspire Med, NSPR. All right, so I can already tell you that there's nothing really I can do here. If it had news, you just need to be looking at the levels. First level 475, second level $5. Those are psychological levels. Then immediately you have 616. There's a supply zone there, and then above that you have 789. The only reason I say that is because you've been trading extremely flat for quite a bit of time after falling really, really hard, probably off of some type of news. You did also have a split, so anything like this is just level based. There's no pattern here. XLE. So no, so you gap down, which honestly, looking at this setup here, this is the 15-minute time frame. So take a look at that, and then take a look at. So if you fill your gap to the upside, there's a good chance that you could go and move above 56.45. It's like 56.45, 56.50, and make a break for the upside with the first immediate target of 57. So how did I learn to do this? I just kept doing it. over and over and over again, watching other people do it. Um, I went and looked at like the most basic patterns and I would go and backtrack on certain stocks and I would just go find those patterns and see what happened afterwards, see what kind of volume it took to get the stock moving, what type of news it took to get the stock moving. You almost have to think about each stock as like a, like a person. Not maybe like a, don't give it a personality or anything, but like, each thing has a something that makes it tick, something that makes it move. And if you can find out what that is and then how it does that, like the certain, like, whatever the distance may be when it does run, like we did with Oracle, that's kind of what you're looking for there. So, um, but anyway, yeah, you're flagging here, rather well. You had a interesting setup, on every time. You can see right here, similar setups. So you see right here, right here. So it's the third flag here. So hopefully you can hold it. If you don't, anywhere below 55.86, you're probably gonna pull back to the downside. So, um, okay, so, good morning, everybody. I am on YouTube right now. I'm gonna take a couple requests here, really quickly. I saw somebody ask me about Oracle. I'm happy to look at that one for you. So it is my belief, based off of previous runs that we've seen from Oracle, that we are looking for a pullback relatively soon. It is 8:55. I'm gonna do Oracle really quick. I'm gonna go grab my breakfast, just in the kitchen, and use the restroom before we get started. So just letting you guys know. And I'll probably restart this TikTok stream. So, also, I don't know if we're there, but there's quite a few people in here. Yep, we're there. So, thank you, TikTok. Thank you for people who have followed me on TikTok. I don't know how, but somehow there's 60,000 people that follow me. After just starting this in June, July timeframe. So, thank you very much. No, I didn't, Doc. I'm sorry, I missed that one. I'll take a look at it for you here in just a second. I'm sorry about that. Okay, so Oracle. I'm just gonna use this as a way to look at things. So from this base to this run, I mean, if you want to squeeze something extra in there, I'd pull this up. We're getting close. And I'm actually going to use this as that base rally right there. So you can see we're getting close to the average move that we see from Oracle, when it does go on a run. And you can kind of go back and backtrack that and see there's a bit of a median here, before it does eventually, pull back. I can see it kind of matches up there. Um, Imagine do the same here. Yeah, so you have a general move that Oracle likes to make, and I've noticed that. And when it does make those significant moves to the upside, oftentimes it will fall. And when it does, it falls pretty hard. You can see big jerks to the downside here. Same thing here. Oracle just absolutely plummeting. They had dividends, I believe, on the 8th. And I do know that they have earnings coming up soon. I'm not quite sure when that is, but honestly, looking at the setup now, I would just, especially at this level, I know there was a lot of flow for $100 calls that came in for Oracle. So above 96.50 with comparable volume to the previous breakouts that we've seen, I would anticipate seeing a flag breakout from Oracle. But under, and I'd only say 94, basically 94.50, this little demand zone underneath us right here. So that spans from 94 25 all the way to 95. That little supply zone, if we flush that and break it, I would imagine we'll see a pullback to around $92. So, and that's my thoughts on that. So, I do own a little bit of XRP, but I just to throw this out there for you guys, I have no idea about like the why. Like I know about the lawsuit. I know what XRP does, but I'm just not like a crypto guy. People are being misled about AMC. Do you realize who doesn't have owns? All right, well, don't argue about AMC. There's it's all good, guys. Let them live. if AMC rips, you're gonna all be eating. We'll be eating crow. So I'm not gonna say anything. I might buy a share too. Who knows? So you said HSY, the Hershey Company. Yeah. Okay. Well, hourly double top already. I can tell you that. It's not ever a great sign. But it's a little too early to call the double top because due to so this is a rejection, right? You can tell very strong. That's not quite the rejection. Still in trend. So, that being said, I see a little triangle forming for you. And this is, okay, so this is where we see through the noise. This is pre-market, okay? That candle open up and flush down, but there you go. So I would anticipate seeing Hershey either trade flat again and then pop up to around 180.50. Look for the 180.50 break. You did have very high volume here at the close yesterday. So hopefully that means smart money is piling in and you'll see a move to the upside. The overall setup on Hershey doesn't look terrible. So you've seen a great V-shaped recovery, a beautiful break and downtrend starting off of this high. So you just draw that line. You can see the natural angle. Do you see that right there? Wick here. That's what we're looking for when we're charting. We're looking for signs of respect, signs of, oh, that's really the only word I can put, slap on that is respect. You know, that when it gets to that level or gets to that downtrend, you see sharp rejections, trades down, beautiful break right there, nice bounce. And then, so I'd be looking for some continuation, more bullish on the daily. But of course, you need to trump that potential head and shoulders there. So, and then SE. So SE is still holding that setup that we looked at yesterday. It looks great. Absolutely looks phenomenal. I wouldn't be surprised if there's some type of news. A lot of times this can be a news driven type stuff. Oh my God, I'm sorry, guys. What was that? I'd be happy to take a look at your guys' charts, but unfortunately right now, I'm gonna restart the stream here in just a moment. But I gotta use the restroom, so I'll be back. Okay, so with SC, just really tight consolidation right now. I don't know if it's just waiting for the market to move. But at the moment it's not a super clean hourly setup down here. You're just holding. And that's better than nothing. You're not seeing any major rejections, but yesterday and in pre-market here, you're already pulling back. So as long as it stays in this range, I'm not trading it, period. I could see a retest of 315 if it does, but I'm looking for, and you can already see that the natural angle here. So start off that high, right? So even on the hourly, you can see clean setup, rejection here, support here. So I wouldn't be surprised if you just continue, right? Until either A, you know, you get that nice breaking down trend. But once it goes, you know, you could take a speculative position long, but you want to see confirmation here. And this angle, which is right here, that's actually our daily support on SE. So if you go and zoom out to the daily here, you'll see once we fix this crazy line that just fell, that that's currently where we are at, is that daily support. So the hope is that we push up and anywhere above 330, I think we start sending it. And SC does move well. This is honestly looking at SC here, I'd like to see a move up, a strong move up. So um, do I see Oracle's touching 100 this week? It's not outside of the question, but I don't think it. I think you have a little bit more of a move to the upside, but the thing about I've noticed about Oracle is look at here. So look at this previous run. You spend a couple of days chopping. So until you get that range break, and I mean it, like 96, 60, 85, like don't try and shoot into this one early and pay attention to the volume. But you could end up trading just like this and then you see how it just barely makes that move. So you're sitting here at $88, little tap of 91 kind of, and then flat line, and then you eventually just trade which is better than anything. You don't actually pull back. So maybe similar movement there if the market cooperation, or if the market's not cooperating, you want to look for a relative strength. So, but I'll be watching Oracle for sure. So, I know somebody asked me about Neo. I'm gonna go use the restroom really quickly. Oof, lot of requests. Assuming the site you utilize costs money. Which one, James? Are you talking about Benzinga Pro? Benzinga Pro is I rant and rave about it. It works for me really, really well. I can't tell you how important having the news is. I mean, actually speaking of Plug Power reports investment in aerospace company Airflow to bring hydrogen fuel cell propulsion system to part of a 23 aircraft. Yuck. That's huge. That's huge. That's news. And a lot of the times we're getting that news first. But anyway, sorry. You can hit the link in my bio if you guys want to check out Benzinga Pro. Um, what is going on here? Lulu looks good. Lulu's on watch today. Lulu's on watch today. I'm gonna go over my watch list here after I use the restroom. But you guys can hit the link in my bio. It is a 2-week free trial. Just it takes your phone number on Benzinga Pro. That's outside of me, but hit the link in my bio and give it a shot if you're already trading. If you're not trading and you don't know anything about stocks, they do have some resources for you, so it's worth checking out, but obviously you don't want to buy tools that are not needed. Oh, GRWG dumped, y'all. I told people, they didn't believe me, but somebody DM me another. I'm not gonna name any names, but he was he has a huge following on Twitter, and he messaged me because he saw my post about GRWG, and I told him straight up the thing's gonna dump, and that's because the dudes who run it love to dump shares, and it's gonna probably be until next year until we see a real significant move. So, um, this one on the screen, yeah, Trading View is going to be Trading View does cost money. There is a free version, but of course you have limitations. But yes, both Benzinga Pro and Trading View cost money. So everything costs money. Feels like it. Okay, I'm gonna go use the restroom. Demigod Dennis, I got into EasyFL into holding too long. Should I get out? Yeah, absolutely. If you want, I'm staying in. I'm gonna dollar cost average it, so probably hang out in that one. I think it pops again. So thank you guys. I'll be right back. Zach Morris guy. No, no, he didn't. I told somebody else that it would dump. I don't talk to Zach Morris. He blocked me. No, even if he didn't, I probably wouldn't. So all right, guys, I'll be right back. Dang, that's crazy, man. That's weird. All right. 1 second, guys. Use the restroom. I'll be right back. If you want any tips on trading futures, man, he's the guy. Pussy gonna be a movie. Okay. Sorry about that. Thank you guys. All right, real quick here, those of you guys on YouTube, let's see really quickly. I'm gonna run down the list. So yeah, I did. We went over Oracle already. Zach, he hey, really enjoying the live. Any suggestions on a good dividend stock to invest for a first one? Um, Man, I have a list of dividend stocks. DM me on Twitter. It'd be easier for me to just send you my watch list. Um, let's see. Docu. You're in a docu put. Well, you got a bear flag here, at least on the 5 minute. What? Good morning. Please go to Mrs. R's Zoom for 9 a.m. flex time today. You need to be there for RTI orientation. No, that's the wrong number. I think you got the wrong number. Sounds like I gotta go to court. I don't like that. Just kidding. That's not me. All right. Docu. Looks like on a lower time frame, you're. Hold on one second. All right, so you are trying to short support, and that is always, for me, against the rules. Here's your downtrend, lower time frame downtrend anyway. So you can see the 200-day EMA. Do you see that bounce off of there? 250 basically, and you get a bounce all the way to 254. That's going to be tough. So it's really the 250 break and candle close with push. I mean, push to the downside is where Docu is going to fall. But it's also important to remember from the highs of 315, you've dropped all the way to $50, and you've also dropped down to a previous supply zone. And I think also one thing that you could be missing here is that you are possibly at support, and you can see that support right there. So if you could end up trading a cup, you very well could making a cup here. I don't ever short support with options. It's not a good idea. A lot of the times you're going to get faked out. I don't even short support with equity. So, in my opinion, I think you should wait for confirmation before you jump in and lose money. But that's up to you on whether or not you have the conviction. I would say like on lower time frame, you look decent, but there's just as easy as it fell, it could rebound today. So obviously, for a bear flag here, you just go ahead and set your range like that and wait for the trade to come to you. Good morning, Nadine. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna take Apple's gap and we're gonna short it. Yeah, we're gonna do that. We're gonna wait for Apple to do whatever it wants to do. It looks like it's already up against downtrend here, so I might be going short at the bell. It's 9:13, so I see somebody asking about GT, Goodyear Tire and Rubber. I already have that one charted for you. Somebody asked me about this one yesterday. You are at support on Goodyear Tire, so you need to peel out and make your way up to 18.95, $19. So one support tap there. Heavy accumulation here, so anywhere below 1850 and you're probably going to fall. And at that point, you would create what would likely be a head and shoulders. But in the meantime, Goodyear continues to hold that support there. And then on the daily time frame, you can see it's just heavily accumulation here as you approach this previous demand zone. So I don't have. Hold on one second. I don't have anybody muted, do I? Where's my squawk box? Talk, dude. I need you. Well, who's that? Is that Atlas? Stop. Robot? Oh my God. Robot man over here.
Yeah, my voice is messed up.
You okay?
I think I'm sick.
Oh my God. KINS. KINS. Kingstone Companies. Just reading this off. Apparently, just saw Benzinga Pro right there. Kingstone sees Q3 catastrophic losses 9.6 million to 12.6 million. They don't even know how much they lost.
Damn.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's a very liquid stock, but I was going to look at a potential short with a catalyst there, but nope. Damn, that's a big loss.
That's what I said. That's not fucking real.
Mm-hmm. I think DNA Raymond James initiates coverage on Ginkgo Bioworks Holdings with outperform rating, announces price target of 14.50. Posting that on my Twitter right now. What's the ticker? What was the ticker for the big loss? That was the
AI this.
yeah. My brain immediately dumps tickers if I don't care about them. It's like, yeah, I don't remember that one.
That's exactly how he treats me.
Oh God, no. Object permanence with people. Um, okay. Sorry, I was looking at this cat news here. All right. Let's get back to my chart. Why is my squat? He's not reading anything.
Is he on this early?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, dude, he's on at like 7. Yeah. Go ahead.
I wonder how much like Payless guys are just sit there and read news all day long.
I wouldn't be opposed to it, but yeah, that would kind of suck
Yeah.
after some point, you know.
Because he can't trade on it because he's sitting there reading it.
Is that true? You can't trade news that you read.
No, I mean he just doesn't have the time because I feel like he's always reading.
I can tell you already without even looking at Facebook that I would not try and short Facebook support. You got to remember that I said this last night. Facebook is basically the best big brother ever, and government likes Facebook. I think that they're just acting like, oh my God, they're doing that. Like, I can't believe it. Oh no. But like, that's how I feel. Like, that's a little tinfoil conspiracy type thing. But all in all, I think it's inevitable that at the moment, just like I said with the other stock, I do not short support. So in that case, we're at the 200-day EMA, and you also are at your actual support level. So until you get a confirmation candle, which if you look at yesterday, you do have a reversal candle. You can see buyers stepping up there and pulling this back up on top of there. And then today you're already above it at 325. If the market pulls back, I would be looking for relative strength. If it does not break below or to the downside, yeah, I'm talking about a reversal to the upside. So not don't show support to anybody who's thinking about it. But it does look like it could potentially pull off a reversal, especially above 330. So, OCGN. So somebody just asked me my trigger for Apple puts to the downside here, the gap. Right now it's pumping to the upside. I'll wait for a rejection off of 140, 150. If we reject that level, then I'll potentially look at taking it. I do see a lower time frame 5-minute downtrend here that I fully anticipate tapping here, which goes right along with that level that I gave you. Could be 140, 125 or 140, 150. And at that point, I'll be looking for a reversal. Then I will probably take a put position out till next week for the 140 strike, adding weeklies at the break in the fill of the gap, and then taking profit around 139.50 and maybe letting some runners run. So that's Apple. And then OCGN, yeah, wow, look at that. Look at my reversal pattern that I drew last night. It is reversing. So there it is. Watch for anywhere below 885 OCGN to pull back. It does have a gap to fill all the way to 778. I don't know if they have any more news, but that's that. Yeah.
We're waiting for FDA approval, so just whatever that means.
Okay, there you go.
Consolidation until FDA approval comes out.
Perfect. So there you go. Atlas with the gym right there. So That's exactly what you and that goes for any pharmaceutical. I think one of the things that people most they lose the most out on is with pharmaceutical companies, they'll see like Sava, right? Totally
Yep.
like yeah, Sava's great. The news, incredible. You saw the stock react to it. Now, any type of speculation that it may not be true, and it fucking sends the stock into a flurry. And that's the one thing about playing pharmaceutical stocks is that like just as easily as they went up, like they need like the most concrete news in the world. Like, like the Queen of England is taking this, like not really, but like that if there's any type of speculation that it may not occur, you'll see that in the price. It'll pump up and then reality sets in and then yeah. Georgie is sending me pounds from England. Thank you, Georgie. He sent me 199 and it's a little emoji says game over.
Oh, and FDA is new approval. So we're all
Ooh,
looking at
that's
it.
right. Yeah, you're right. It's
Yeah.
who. They're looking for the nod, which is better, honestly. I think that's not a terrible thing. Somebody asked me about CRSR. I actually really like this setup. I really, really like the setup, but of course the market has everything to do with that. Watch it above 26.55. It actually may end up making it for a good long. Um, yeah, that's it on that one. Um, why am I not? Yeah, I'm live every morning on YouTube just for pre-market prep. I would like to say thank you again. What's a trading platform should I use when I live in Germany? Interactive Brokers is over there, right?
I think so, but I think they have insane rates internationally. I'm not sure.
Let me ask a couple people in the chat. I know there's some people who trade overseas. Feel free to hop in the bio. Hit the link in the bio and hop in if you would like to take advantage of the free books. But tag Simple Stackers and just ask anybody if they're overseas and what they use. I'm sure they'd be happy to talk to you. So, um, he lives every morning on YouTube, pretty much. Oh, he's live. Live. I see. Never mind. Sorry. Who's the guy to talk to about futures trading? Probably Manny. He'd probably point you. I do have some future books that I can give you, but I know, and usually on TikTok, but TikTok has less delay. Yeah, I'm probably we're not going to trade live today on YouTube. So um, let's see here. Inflation expectations are going to be eating away at blue collar workers' paychecks. Yeah, and blue collar workers are going to get more pissed. Could I DU them on Twitter to get the watch list? Yes, you can. What's the Apple short play? I already did that one. Um, I will leave my TikTok stream up open. It has no delay, but I want you guys to know that if you're new, I'm reiterating this over and over again. If you're new, you don't need to be chasing options on weeklies. I will tell you as somebody, I learned that the hard way. Thank you guys for leaving likes
Also,
there on YouTube, by the way. Go ahead.
also, none of the information that we provide to TikTok or YouTube or anybody online is financial advice.
Right.
So
Yeah.
enter at your own discretion.
Yeah. So I want you guys to know that like, there's a lot of uh space right now in the market where we don't really know. I would be filthy rich if I knew what was going to happen right now, and that's what I'm waiting to find out. And so, playing with weeklies that are more than likely going to expire out of the money right now with a new account and with a new mental or a new psychology, getting into the market. Most people don't take profit when they should because they're thinking about playing, 2 months out when they're really playing with weeklies. So make sure you have the correct contract, but again, this is not financial advice. Not often. He's very busy, but he does every once in a while. All right, let me go ahead and bring this up. All right. Okay, Apple rushing up.
Good old Tim Cook.
All right. SPWR. What? You have data that shows it was yesterday's what? I don't have my data. I didn't know.
No.
I say my aftermarket data is choppy, and I wouldn't I honestly was.
You look at your chart. I look right off of that. Morning, bro.
I might be missing data. I probably did. Yeah, okay, I'll see it.
You're not missing data here.
I'm not.
Nope.
Okay, I see your triangle too. So I mean, okay, yeah, I see it. Up there. 925. Okay. Yeah, so small accounts, Apple can be a good play. I'm waiting for a rejection. Okay, we're pumping up two resistance right now. I'm looking to take this short. That's going to be the first play. My entry right now is probably going to be 140.85 to the downside. And then my stop loss, it depends on where we open up. But and where I take the trade, but any probably my entry is going to be my exit on that one. I'm looking for a clean rejection off of this downtrend here, and then just to go to this gap fill here would be preferable. But we are moving to the upside with some vigor right now. We'll just see how that goes. So, all right. Sorry guys, I was a little bit late today. If you guys are on YouTube, thank you guys for leaving likes. I'm gonna stream this on TikTok, so you guys can hop on there. I'll let you guys know Lulu is not in the place where I can take it to the upside yet. I still have Lulu, but I'm still waiting for a potential retest of 380. If we don't get 380, that's all good. I'll wait for a reversal. Right now, I already see a rejection and a gap fill on the 5. So
Did you get the cost yesterday?
I did not. No. Why?
I'm in. It ran off that Apple news.
Costco.
No, KOSS. Koss.
Oh no, I did not. I think you guys nailed that one, right?
Yeah, I'm still in though. I think it's gonna rip me open.
Wild looking. Yeah, if it doesn't, it's at a place where it could either do the exact opposite and flag and bounce at 2075 and then do the same curl under. You have a little gap to fill, but yeah, I definitely see what you're talking about. That's strong volume too. That bounce, that ripped. Holy crap, 1560, $24. Damn.
Yeah, and this thing was a meme stock. So if Wall Street Bets gets behind it, we could get a nice little move, maybe to 30 max. I really don't see us breaking past 30, but it would be a nice move up.
About OCGN, I invested about a I don't even want to name Tranny Granny. Wow. Yeah. I don't want to be disrespectful and not call people by their names, but he said I invested in it about a year during the first time it pumped. It's been pumping and dumping on rumors of FDA approval for months. Yeah, so hopefully this is the end of the line here.
Well, and also it would be smart to like trim out if you were heavy in a position. Don't just sit there in hopes that approval is going to make you all this money. Don't be ridiculous. Like take some profit off the table.
Yeah. So Upstart actually has still a pretty good setup, but very, very much could reject off of 347 or 345. You're very close. But I mean, you had a strong run yesterday, so even a little pullback to around 330, and watch for a bounce there. So, okay, already Apple just rejected its downtrend. Thank you, YouTube. I'm streaming right now. Gonna go ahead and reverse my screen. Not gonna be able to see you guys' comments. Please, if you're new, you need to exhibit patience now and not be trying to jump into every trade that you see. We wanna wait and make our moves if we have smaller accounts. Also remind everybody to take a deep breath.
Therapeutics off the highs now, $3.90.
What did he say?
That's Alpha Delta India Lima.
Alpha Delta India Lima.
It sounds
ADIL.
like he's talking inside of a stadium, Garrett.
I don't understand this. Oh, it does to you? Hmm.
Right, guys on Discord, you hear him the same way I do.
Yeah, I guess he kind of sounds like that. Yeah, big old stadium. That's funny. I just turned it down a little bit. Alrighty. Shutting that down. All right, guys, see you in a little bit. He said sorry about the name. Made it a long time ago. Honestly, it's all good. Yeah, take a deep breath. We're humans doing weird stuff for money. Just kidding.